Where do we start? Okay, well, welcome back to Italy. Sometimes this renovation has gone quite slow, but then some big things happen like this. Huge change. This is much bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's just a huge space, which is really exciting, but at the same time it's really quite intimidating as to what to do with it all. This is the side where I'll put a terrace, sunbathing area, shaded areas, dining table, outside kitchen, and the list goes on. So there's loads of scope now for me to do some quite nice things, I think. It's a blank canvas. I can go to town on this now. It's early November, it's ridiculous weather, it's sunbathing. I've got 2 layers on, I'm too hot. So I think I'll be working outside when I can during the day. Sunset's quite early now this time of year. And then I crack on with the inside of the house in the evenings. But you know, these renovations, these big projects like this, they're a roller coaster of emotions, I gotta be honest. You know, some days I wake up and think, what have I done? Oh my god, this is just too much. And then you break it down into chunks and you think, yeah, we'll get there, be all right. And then you have things like this, which just fills your cells with loads of wind. This is it. This is the motivation you need. Seeing change, seeing the progress of it. I've got to be careful I don't mess it up and it turns all into weeds really quickly. But that should be manageable. That should be easy to do. I am lost for words. This is when you visualize this, when you buy it and you think, yeah, this would be cool, a pizza oven there, a natural shaded area there, sitting under grapevines or sitting underneath a lemon tree. And then as you get nearer to it and you think, right, here we go, here's your blank canvas you asked for, you think, Jesus, where do I start? Where do I start? This is massive. So yeah, all this happened while I was away, unfortunately. I've been away from the house now, I think it was like 7 weeks I was in England. I had to stay away for a while for 2 reasons. One was I was sailing really close to the wind on the 90-day thing. I think I went up to 89 days on my calculation. And then there was one very grey area where I'm sure it would have been an interesting debate at an airport whether arriving at like 11:45 p.m. actually counts as a full day or not. Also, I was going to do the digital nomad visa, but because you got to send the passport away, I was about to do it and then this started and I just needed to come down and see it. I couldn't wait a few months. It was just too much to stay away from. So while I didn't see the guys doing it, which is a bit of a shame, I've got some photographs which showed me how they did it, or sort of where they started and which order they moved all the soil around. But you can see it's a huge job, huge job. I need to plant the banks up so they don't erode away. Nothing that grows too high, things that spread nice, and possibly look at things, I don't know, pollinators for the future. So when I can spend more time here, beekeeping could be good fun. Olive trees, I've learned a bit about how and when to plant them, and this is the time of year to plant them. So while I'm here, I've got a lot of digging to do to get that in. But that'll be beautiful. But the big exciting piece is the bottom area. This bottom area here is probably one of the most exciting bits as well, because it gives me a nice flat area. Until now, the only flat area I had was that deck. But I can put a glamping tent here now. Great for the girls and their friends when they come down and stay, because I've got double beds and power and I can get water here, no problem. But it also opens up, you know, if you've offered to come down and then help, somewhere for you to stay now, isn't there? So we could do that. I could get organised with that. Yeah. So if you've got any ideas and you've got the benefit of hindsight, if you've done something like this before, you know, let me know. I do read all the comments. I'm getting loads of comments, which I love. and I'm getting a lot of emails and a lot of messages and a lot of people sign up for the newsletter on the website. So it's taking me a while to get back to everybody now. It's like a full day. I hope you understand. I do read them all, I genuinely do. But then sitting down to write and reply, on top of everything else, it can be a lot, so bear with it, but I'll get there, I promise. Where do I start? I think olive trees. It's the time of year for it, so I think that's where I'm going to start. Let's get digging. Alright, so now I've got the blank canvas outside. I'm marking up how many olive trees I think I'm going to need, because now I can visualise where I'm going to be sort of enjoying the outside space, whether that be sunbathing or eating, and where you're in the sunshine or where you're in the shade. Because the back is now really opened up, you can actually see the house from the road for the first time. So I need to strategically plant so then this back area of the house is really private again. So I'm just trying to work out how many trees I'm going to need, and I'm going to plant those trees while I'm here this time. And then I might actually work out how many I need for the rest of the field, because I'm going to do from the very top corner right down to the end of my road, say. Definitely 2 rows, maybe 3 rows in parts, and I don't know how many trees that's going to be. So I'm going to try and work that out. Maybe that's something you want to come down and help with. Digging, planting. And in exchange, in a few years' time then, when the fruit's good, you come back, press the olives, have as much oil as you like. Hey, that sounds like a fair deal. Alright. Yeah. Let's do it. Alright, the kitchen door is going to be about where this camera is. Sitting area is here. And your... I don't think it needs to be that far over, actually. Alright, from the corner of this base first tier, second tier, from where I've put the stake as the first one, it will block the view up to the top lane, which sometimes people come down, not very often because there's 2 houses down the end of that road. 70 feet, what's that in metres? I think it's 21 metres. 21 metres, not that old yet. So 21 metres, I think. Yeah, the suggestion was to plant them around 7 metres apart, so let me see how that looks. Okay, so right, I'll leave that there for now and have a look at it in a minute. But the tier behind, which is now the field effectively, which starts to go back up, I'm going to plant olive trees in between these trees. You know what I mean. I just put the stakes on the very edge so I can see them when I'm down at the bottom looking back now, but obviously I'll plant them in a few metres. The other thing while I'm up here, so this is that long piece. The entrance road is behind the camera and the 2 olive trees, and you can see the top of the land up there. So the weedy area is my bit. Next door obviously looks after their field really well. So I think my plan is to put at least 2 rows right the way down from the very top corner all the way down to the road, and I've got to come in. I think the request is 3 metres, but I'll probably go like 4 or 5 metres in to give them enough space to turn around the big machinery that they've got, because like I said before, there's no fences here. People are cool with all that. So I'll give them plenty of room to farm and turn around. So I'll bring it in slightly, and then I'll dot them down all the way to probably somewhere where I'm stood, which is pretty much in line with the house, because behind the camera I think it'd be a good place to grow some fruit trees for sure, and then I definitely need some bigger trees around this part which block the view from the barn on the top of the road. I'm going to try and work that out today as well. It's a lot, it'd be a lot of trees. So lots to think about, lots of planting, and loads of olive trees would be great, wouldn't it? I don't know if you can hear, but in the distance here, up on the top, the neighbours. Camera. I haven't got a zoom on this, but through that gap, the neighbours are shaking the olive trees, and they've got the green nets underneath. So they're catching all the olives, obviously taking to the press. Everyone's doing it this time of year. It's November 1st. So like I say, everyone around is, if I'd have done it the last few days, this is the time of year to get the olives done. And I think it's it feels like a real family thing. There's loads of family come around, you see loads of cars, everyone's chatty and having fun, and really nice that, isn't it? Free olive oil, eh? For life. Okay, so I think that's looking good. The current plan, because plans change, you know. I think this is where the pizza oven should go. Back into the corner, maybe take this out, put a wall behind it, sort the water runoff and all that. So a lovely big pizza oven here, right on this corner. So where the camera is, dining table covered over the top. And that shade then can also span in front of the big window I've just put in, and it can go around the back of the house where I could do something. I think the three on that top tier are perfect there. And it's the ones above, because I've put the markers on the edge of the thing. I think by the time I put them back, it needs one more further up. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I go for 8 olive trees at the moment, for now, that could be good. Yeah, so the plan sitting around here, I don't know what's the time now. Yeah, 1:30. The sun is directly down the side of the house, so over the top of the house. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so need some shade here for sure, sunny in front of it. I think that next level then, here, will probably be, keep it for sunbathing. I think I'll keep the shade nearer the house, the sunbathing if you want to go up there, fair enough. And then as you disappear around the corner of the house, I'm going to need a few storage areas for things, so they can just be quite nicely built around the side here, and then that's when all the trees will start to come. So then as I change the angle around here, camera, that level, on the fly, corner of the house here obviously, so you can see the barn in the distance, can't you? Plant up so that's not seen at all, which is easy to do. It might be quite nice to get, I do want some cypress trees in, so I'm going to get 1 or 2, because now I can plant a cypress tree to block where the electric pylon things are. I can put 1, 2 or 3 really nicely around those things so you don't see those. That's good. I think that'll do for now. That's probably enough to get on with. Yeah, it's all good, isn't it? Didn't think it was going to be this hot. Right, so there's a long story behind this one. You saw I put the fire in ages ago, and it's one of those things where no one else will see this, but because I did it, I couldn't stop looking at it. I didn't do the back properly, and when I was far away in the kitchen, all I was looking at was the back of the fireplace, which might sound a bit weird. Anyway, I didn't like it, so when Simon was here, he helped me lift this back out. I've redone all the back. I've tiled it all up properly, which I should have done the first time. I just didn't think it would be seen. And now the fire's back in. So, test fire, first one. The bottom and the sides have come out nice, really pleased with that. And anyway, it's this bit I can see, the scraggy concrete piece. This is cast iron, which is staying, but it doesn't go down to the bottom. So now I've cleared it all out. I didn't think you'd be able to see this when you were stood in the kitchen, and it's not coming out on camera, but I can see it. So that's why it's had to come back out. We're going to tidy this up and then lift it back in. And then never touch it again. Let's just check there's no leaks. I just did a smoke test earlier. That's looking good. Yep. Could be a beginning of many cozy evenings. Lovely. Alright, I've not done one of these for a while. Legs are burning, fair to say. But you can't go wrong plotting a route that they use on the Giro d'Italia. This is amazing. Oh, well, I can see the top. I need a break. What a view. That's amazing. One last push to the top. So roasting hot on the way up, but it's going to be freezing on the way down. Nice and steady though. No rush to get down, with a few stops to cool the brakes, I suppose. I haven't got disc brakes on this thing. This has amazed me. I think this is one of the nicest rides I've ever done. You know, this is up there with Cellaronda and the Gardena Pass and obviously Stelvio and things, but the view is unreal. I spoke to another cyclist, said it's really rare to get up here in November because normally it's freezing, too cold. But this winter clear blue sky is something else, eh? Yes, it took me about 50 minutes to drive here. And that's one of the best rides I've ever done.